What's up, everyone? Ryan here, aka Ryman, and welcome back to another installment of Ryman's Bizarre Adventures in Katawa Shoujo. The last time we were here, we were busy developing our bond with Hanako. And now, I keep saying I feel things are coming to a head, but then just a whole lot of nothing seems to keep happening. So, who knows? Wow, wait, what's the date now? Wow, I really haven't played this in that... Oh god, we got to just keep moving along now, don't we? Finally, reaching the classroom after the usual walk from the dormitories. I step inside. My eyes immediately turn to the third seat from the left in the back row. Hanako's seat. It's empty, and after glancing around the classroom, it looks like she isn't here yet. The two girls from the newspaper club are here, in the two seats to the left of Hanako's, as are Shizune and Misha's, but that's about it. What? There's a newspaper club? Of course there'd be a newspaper club. We exchange morning greetings before I take my seat. I have to admit that this is a bit of a relief. This gives me at least a few more minutes to think. Not that I haven't been doing so previously, ever since our trip to town, when Hanako's been on my mind. You're always on my mind. Stop. Court order, Ryan. You're not allowed to sing. I still don't know... Stupid joke. I still don't know what to make of my relationship to Hanako. I like her. I can admit that much to myself. I want to protect and shield her from the pain she feels. Oh, we gonna try to be the shining white knight? Alright, we'll see how far that gets us. I really don't think my feelings are just those of friendship anymore. Don't sing! Don't sing! Biting my tongue to stop myself. But that aside, I feel like I don't even know her. If I made a move on her, how would she take it? Is she in an emotional state that allows her to make a reasonable decision about a relationship? How would she cope with anything that might happen afterwards? There's also the possibility of her just brutally murdering me. There's also the possibility that I'm just completely misinterpreting Hanako. Oh god, there was footsteps. I honestly thought it was footsteps in my own room right now. I was about to start turning around. I was like, who the fuck? Not a difficult thing to do with someone with social skills seems to be so... This whole footstep thing, like, completely threw me off game. Get a grip. Take it from the top. There's also the possibility that I'm just completely misinterpreting Hanako. Not a difficult thing to do with someone with whose social skills seem to be so underdeveloped. The sound of footsteps come up to the door, making me perk up. It's Miki! Fuck yeah! Get ready to hear this voice again, people. God, if you don't know what's about to come, you really need to stop jumping into playthroughs that are this late into the game. Oh, no dialogue? Oh, missed opportunity. She barely acknowledges my existence when I accidentally make eye contact with her. I'm about to look away, but another person comes in not long after she takes her seat. Oh, hi, Hanako. The two best girls in this class coming in together. That's how you start the day. I feel myself freeze as I see Hanako enter. This isn't a rational reaction, but I have no idea how I should act or what I should say to her. Try hello! For a moment, our eyes meet. And then she vanished into the nether. And then, just as quickly, she looks away and moves to her seat without saying a single word. Hisao, not everyone has to be a morning person. Is my timer running? Yes, it's running. Oh, I almost feel like a professional. As is now usual for the period following classes, my face is buried deep in a book that I find thoroughly uninteresting. Studying's not something that comes naturally to me. Who does? Oh, okay, a lot of people it does, but just not me. Alright. I didn't study a lot before coming to Yamako, and until now I've largely managed to coast through on talent alone. Okay, that's saying a lot more than I can. It's frustrating that I can't do that anymore. Judging by the faces of the other few students in the library, I don't think I'm alone in my distaste for this. Misery loves company, I suppose. I decided to spend lunchtime with Hanako, since we haven't had lunch together for a while now. I may as well have spent the time studying, though. Aside from pathetically small snippets of small talk, there was barely a word said between us. Why does she keep doing this to me? I just want to protect her, to be there for her. But every time I feel like we're coming closer, we end up further away.
Are you busy?
Obviously not. It's getting late on a Sunday night and I'm playing Katawa Shoujo. I kid. I'm probably one of the few people legitimately having a good time going through this playthrough. Why? Why are we shaking? Hanako? My head whips around in surprise, causing her to retreat in fright. We just flailed our arms around at someone talking to us. That was bad timing. If I hadn't been thinking about her at that moment, I probably wouldn't have been nearly so startled. Sorry, you just did me a fright. I find myself staring at her longer than I should, so I go back to the text lying on the table in front of me. I feel more like I'm just staring at the words rather than actually reading. I get the feeling Hanako can notice this as well, so I sigh and close the book. What's up? I cocked an eyebrow up and everything. Oh my god, no one can see me.
I was just wondering what you were reading.
She looks a little downcast after my reaction to seeing her. Giving up on the prospect of getting any more work done, I get up and return the book to its place on a nearby shelf. Just an English textbook.
Has it helped?
Hanako, if you've been keeping up with this playthrough and my reading and speaking, no, it has not helped. Oh, God, that made me depressed. It helped me realize that I don't like English, yeah. Man, stop snickering, some of you guys out there. Reading's hard. Hanako gives a small giggle. I may muse on the strange state of our friendship, but I do know that such little gestures are things that I wouldn't see were I not at least some distance closer to her than when we first met. I look at her for a moment, thinking about what I do and don't know about her. It's a slightly depressing topic, one of many in my head right now.
Is something wrong?
If I want to know more about her, maybe I should stop being so evasive about it. What's your favorite color, at least? Talking with Lily as an equal rather than being constantly in fear of causing her to become upset worked fine, so I should just try a straightforward approach with Hanako as well. Hey, Hanako! Do you mind if I ask you a question?
I don't mind.
I want to know what your life was like. Your life before coming to Yamako. She hesitates, I briefly consider backing off, but she seems to be taking the question quite seriously. I sit and watch her, silently letting her take her time. She's not making eye contact with me, and looks almost as if she's arguing with herself into letting herself open up to me more. Her answer finally comes in a stiff, almost a reluctant nod. She looks far more tense than she did before I'd asked.
Okay, but in return, you have to tell me about your life as well.
Okay, that's fair enough. I nod, and follow her as she begins to walk out of the library so we can talk. We can't talk in the library? By now, most of the students have already left the main building. So apart from a few people hovering around in club rooms, the hallways are largely empty. I guess we'll start with coming to Yamako. Let's see. I was in the hospital when my parents first told me about Yamako Academy. The doctors told me I shouldn't go to my old school anymore. My parents agreed and persuaded me to apply for Yamako, even though it would mean living away from them for the first time.
It must have been hard for you.
Well, yeah, I have to admit that it was. My parents both work long hours and full time, so having to live responsibly, independently, wasn't anything new to me. It was the fact that I was going to a school for disabled students that hit hardest, I think. And you? A small group of chattering girls passes us as we near the stairs, with Hanako pressing herself tightly to my side until we reach the ground floor. She doesn't usually come this close while just walking to school, so I'm left a little put off. You sure she wasn't just trying to push us down the stairs? Am I the only one that gets that paranoid when people start getting close to me? Am I the only one here when people just start getting really close and I don't know, I start getting ready for fisticuffs or something? Is it just me? Fuck.
The staff at the orphanage offered me some options on what I could do. Middle school hadn't been good, so I thought that Yamako might be better. It was isolated, and I thought it might be easier to get by here with most of the others being disabled.
It's pretty ironic that the reasons Hanako looked forward to Yamako are the exact reasons I hated the idea. To me, it felt like I was being shunted somewhere away from society and everyone I knew. To Hanako, that was probably an inviting prospect. What was life like at the orphanage? Annie comes to mind? just Hanako scrolling on the floor going,
It's a hard, not life for us.
I don't know that stupid song.
It was okay. The staff there were nice, and they took care of us.
I'd hope, otherwise they'd be on the news.
The children there didn't talk to me, but I didn't really want to talk to them either, so I didn't mind. The orphanage had a little library, so I started to read to pass the time. The staff didn't mind it, because it made me easier to handle than many of the other children.
The other children, they had to use shock collars. Oh, that'd be fun! That's why I can't work in an orphanage. You didn't make any friends there?
No, I think my life was on hold during that time. I knew that, but I didn't mind.
To think her life was on hold for all that time, though. Depending on when the fire happened, that was a huge chunk of her life. No parents, no friends, apparently no relatives. We walked through the door into the courtyard. I expect to need to avert my eyes from the sun, but by now it's well into sunset. Hanako's eyes flickering to me, so I look away from her for a bit.
What was it like in the hospital?
Sorry if that sounded like it got quiet because I had to look away real quick at my fucking time. I'm on a timer here. Yeah. Anyway, I quickly clear my thoughts to try and refocus them. I hesitate for a bit, but I know that I have to tell her. We're close enough for her to feel comfortable in me telling this, so it's only fair that I reciprocate. It was okay at times, but at others, it was pretty bad. At the beginning, everyone sent their sympathies, and came to visit often. It was just like breaking an arm or something. Meeting all my friends was one of the good times. Hanako came in as often as well, more often than anyone else. But there were bad times too. When my friends slowly stopped visiting, I began to realize how grave my situation was. It reminded me that this wasn't just a broken limb, but that I was now a different person than before. Even the times Hanako would spend with me became torturous. By the end, we were reduced to silence, whereas before, she'd be talking constantly, and I was too far out of reach to slap her to shut her up. But that's how Hanako always was. She may have been a fragile person, but she would talk constantly to try and hide that fact. Not about anything in particular, just talk. Kind of like I'm doing right now. I think the 3 lowest points would have been when my parents told me I wouldn't be going to my old school anymore, my birthday passing while I was in the hospital, and when Hanako left for the last time. We leave the school buildings behind us as we begin to follow the main path through the gardens. There may have been an odd bystander in the school buildings, but outside, we're practically alone.
What was your middle school like?
I don't know, picture Yamako, but no one has a limp. I liked it. I grew up in a really metropolitan area, and the middle school was nearby, so it was pretty crowded. I didn't mind it, probably because I'm used to being in crowds and around lots of other people. I got good grades, and I played soccer with my friends. I spent a fair bit of time hanging out with them after school as well. Did get teased a bit over my hair, though. Yeah, you need to fucking cut that shit, man.
Your hair?
I grimaced a little as I put a hand over my hair to cover it. I'd keep getting tufts and strands that refused to flatten or stay where I wanted them, and my mother wouldn't let me just get my hair shaved. It had a habit of popping out, no matter how much I tried to brush it down. Have you tried hair gel? Lots and lots of hair gel. I mean, enough where you'd be an easy choice and pick the protagonist.
It still does a little.
I was worried I'd get that reply.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I give a mild laugh and wave it off. Oh, fuck. It's fine. I know it still does. It feels strange to have someone act so interested in my past. If it were anyone else, I'd think they were just acting polite. But that's something I really don't think Hanako would do. Or if she did, she'd do it so badly that it'd be obvious. There are a number of girls in the common room on the ground floor, and Hanako presses herself to my side once more as we pass them. I expect her to break off, but instead she continues to cling on to me as we walk towards the stairway. Something about the way she's hanging on to me feels different from the usual. Define different. Like, do you feel the knife she's hiding pressing up against you? Yeah. I'm left deep in thought, and as I suffer a fucking stroke. I'm left deep in thought as how fucked up would that be if I just suddenly came down with one, right? Would I still post that on YouTube? Oh, that's dark. I'm left deep in thought as we walk up the stairs and down the hallway. It's only when we stop that I look up and realize that I've been following her without question. Why did we come to your dormitory room? To drop her off. The fuck do you think? She looks straight at the door, without so much as a glance in my direction. Hanako? She moves to answer, but stops herself. Instead, she silently breaks from my side, opens the door, and steps inside. Okay, goodbye, I guess. I look up and down the hallway, a bit lost as to exactly what I should do. Shrugging. Okay, I decide to follow her since I don't have any reason to do otherwise. Hanako stands in the middle of her room and looks straight at me. It's unnerving when she does this, as it's such an unusual action for her. I open my mouth to speak, but she preempts me.
Could you close and lock the door?
Hanako's hand reaches for her chest, grabbing her blouse at her heart. I turn and lock the door shut, then freeze. Oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, one of two things I think is about to happen. Either option one, I think I'm going to have to up my editing game. There's that frickin' packet of ramen noodles again. Or option two, I think I'm a long-term mark, and I'm about to be assassinated. If I don't make it out of this alive, I want someone out there to get the rest of the fuck-up squad from Brainchild and get them down here to avenge me. Tell them to find Kenji. He will know what to do. Press on. The atmosphere is beginning to feel quite strange. This feeling is only made more profound when I hear the curtains being pulled behind me. It's going to be night soon. We're a guy and a girl in a bedroom. She's closing the curtains, and I'm shutting and locking the door. She can't really have that in mind, can she? I gulp and turn around very, very slowly. Hanako is in the center of the room, but hasn't turned back to face me. She just turned back to face me.
You told me about your past, so I have to tell you mine.
We have to shut and lock the door and curtains? You gonna perform a fucking satanic ritual? That reminds me, I think I probably should play more Yandere Simulator. Yeah, that's a wonderful line without context, by the way. She takes a deep, shuddering breath and pauses for a number of seconds. Her hands move to her ribbon and begin to tug, all but confirming my thoughts. Huh. Huh. Hanako?
Please don't say anything. I obediently stay hushed as she slips off her ribbon and continues to unbutton her blouse before working the clip on her bra. I think it's option 1. Probably kind of was hoping for option 2 because that would have meant less editing work. The process is slow. Perhaps it just feels slow because of what she's doing. I'm not sure. I'm suddenly, like, if she's stripping, like, I don't know, should we start playing AC/DC? You can totally strip to AC/DC, shut up. Frozen to the spot. All I can do is watch as Hanako, hands trembling, unclips her skirt and lets it drop to the ground. Oh dear. Okay, not so bad yet. Hold on a second there, guys. Alright, I know a bunch of you guys are already going, Ryan, what's with this to be continued crap? Well, I'll break it down for you. When I recorded this was like nearly an hour-long session, and not everyone wants to sit through that. So I decided I'm going to split it off into 2 different parts. Yeah, you can call it bullshit trying to stretch out the length of this series or whatever, but hey, it's for the sake of convenience. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, like the video, subscribe, it really helps. Follow the Facebook page, keep up with all the news and the content. Hop on the Ryman Discord, Ryman Gaming Discord channel. Yeah, I decided to have a gaming Discord channel. And as always, stay awesome. But don't worry, you don't have to wait a week, alright? I'm uploading the other part of this immediately with this. So until then, guys, stay awesome out there.